Welcome to Bruins Overtime Live, presented by BuyAToyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit BuyAToyota.com. I'm Dale Arnold, along with Billy Jaffe and Barry Peterson. Bruins fall to the Ottawa Senators, 6-3 the final score tonight. You can't win in a tight playoff race if you only play two good periods.
Yeah, and especially if you're chasing the game, right? And that's what they did in the first period. Pre-game interview, Nikita Zadorov talking with Adam, talked about the most important game of the year.
Yep.
Sure didn't come out and play like that. The team.
No one did.
So, no, I was going to say, the team didn't. And that's obviously concerning. And I think they were so amped up for Florida, so amped up for Tampa after all the craziness that happened last Friday that I don't want to say it's human nature, but they come into a game against Ottawa, a team maybe they just didn't respect nearly enough, because they sure didn't play like it in the first period and respect the puck control that they needed, and they couldn't handle their forecheck.
Well, I think those first two games we're talking about post the trade deadline, Florida, Tampa Bay, they were the dogs, right? They were the underdogs in those games. So there really wasn't that, I don't think, kind of pressure on them. Here, to your comment about Nikita, they talked about, this is it. This is our season. This is a big, big hockey game. And they came out almost like back on their heels. The energy wasn't there, the physicality, too many turnovers, too many little things that we'll talk about here post-game on the negative side in that first period that cost you. Because after that, it was pretty even hockey game. But you can't go into a big game like that and get outshot 15-4, and that badly outplayed.
It was a virtual parade of problems for the Bruins in the first period. Turnovers, being outshot, as Barry said, 15-4. Icing calls. One icing call led directly to the first Ottawa goal of the night.
Yeah, and we've seen this too often this year where the guys don't connect on plays.
And by the way, didn't come close to connect.
No, Peak is looking for a stretch play, and it just goes all the way down. So, all right. You're allowed to look for the stretch, but you got to try and get into the right spot. Pastrnak can't touch it. And then here, Peak is going to try and eat the puck along the wall because I don't feel like he had control of it well enough, and especially in his mindset. And then here you go. This was an epitome of the first period. A couple of times, Ottawa ends up getting to the puck. And here's just a quick turnaround shot from Pinto. And there's just enough traffic in front. I don't know. You still need to get a save on this one, I think, Barry.
Yep.
But maybe that was what not discombobulated, but bothered Swayman just enough to throw it off.
Yeah, they come out in front here. You can just see it right here. He's looking. He can't really see. He's bobbing his head. He's looking around, and that's one of those ones. At that point in the hockey game, yes, you're not playing well. Yes, you have the icing, but you need a save there as well to kind of keep some more or get some momentum back to your side and try and get Ottawa back on their heels a little bit.
Jeremy Swayman was replaced after the first period. I'm sure when we hear from Joe Sacco coming right up, he's going to say this was everybody's problem in the first period. Every single guy on the ice. And we've got a bit of the issues here. Turnovers, bad passes. Everything was going wrong in the first.
It was. And as we talked about, the previous two games when things were going well, it was because the intensity level was there. They were able to put their opponents back on their heels with good passes. Here you have a bad pass. When it's right on your stick, Billy, you're only 10 feet away. Bang, you got to make a play. You get it in deep. You don't. Now all of a sudden, they're coming the other way. You've got gaps. You're backing in. You're allowing Ottawa to attack you, and they're feeding off this, and it just keeps you back on your heels way too much.
Yeah, and the ice wasn't great, but by no means, let me repeat it, not an excuse.
Correct.
But I'm saying I felt like at times fellas overhandling the puck in spots and just didn't help themselves out. And I also think, can we also give Ottawa credit? They outworked the Bruins.
Absolutely.
In that first period. They were on their toes. They pushed the Bruins. They took the play. They were very happy, Dale, to play along the wall. And then when they did, another black sweater would come in there, and the Bruins were not comfortable along the wall in that first period because I felt like they were always seeking for the puck instead of feeling the puck. Ottawa took advantage of that big time.
Yeah, and I thought the latter two periods, I thought the Bruins were the better hockey team, and Ullmark, made some big saves when he had to try and keep that lead. But the Bruins changed completely from that first to the second period.
The Bruins were trailing 2-1 in the first. Casey Mittelstadt had scored the goal for Boston that got them to within one. And then Drake Batherson scored, and the route was kind of off.
Yeah, this was the key part early on in the hockey game where you're on the road, it's 2-1. Beecher gets the interference penalty. It's like, okay, you're going to end up having an opportunity here, Billy, to get this thing out, and you don't. And all of a sudden it ends up back of your net. Andrew Peak had an opportunity earlier on to get this thing out, and they didn't. And all of a sudden now you're in trouble.
And here's the second Batherson goal. Off the shot that goes wide. Montepallo's shot goes completely wide, but fortuitous carom right over to Batherson. To see as he sends, kind of gets to the puck again along the wall here. That's a simple play there, Dale, that makes all the difference. Started by Batherson. There's the shot off the wall, and Yoki Haru tries to find it. The goaltender, Korpisalo, watch to his right. Where is it? Where is it? He doesn't feel it until way too late, and there's Batherson to tuck it in.
He had 2 goals there, missed a chance at a hat trick with an empty net try in the third period, but was still our star of the game, presented by Subaru of New England. Fall in love with a brand new Subaru. Greig Batherson had 2 goals and an assist tonight, has 18 on the season in his last 10 games, 10 points on 3 goals and 7 assists, but has been a -1 over those 10 games as well. It was one of those nights, and unfortunately the Bruins' playoff possibilities, which were slim going into tonight's action, took a little kick, and we'll see if they can pull things back together on Saturday with Tampa Bay coming.
Yeah, and that's what makes that first period that we just showed so frustrating, because it was one of those situations where from the 2 previous games you did not expect that response from the Bruins. You were kind of hoping it was going to be a very similar, effort, intensity, physicality, emotionally into it. They were flat that first period.